politician who actively promoted the idea of granting Kashmir independence from India? That's the question that is doing the rounds today when Parliament saw large-scale disruption after the BJP-linked former Congress President Sonia Gandhi of having connections with an organization funded by the Soros Foundation, which has supported the idea of Kashmir as an independent nation. The BJP believes that Soros is anti-India and is a US deep state plant or front out to derail India's growth story, so it remains a middle power that can't challenge Washington's hegemony. Viewers, in a long, winding tweet, the BJP links Sonia to Soros, claiming that this association shows the influence of foreign entities in India's internal affairs. It put out a series of documents on Twitter, viewers, and we've been able to excerpt those documents for you and bring them to you, and they're right there on the middle of your screens. The BJP tweets screen grabs from websites to show that Sonia Gandhi, as co-president of the Forum of Democratic Leaders in Asia Pacific, or the FDL-AP Foundation, they say that that document is from the website of FDL-AP and shows Sonia Gandhi as the co-president of this grouping. The BJP claims FDL-AP is connected to an organization funded by Soros Foundation. The BJP claims the FDL-AP backs the idea of Kashmir as an independent nation. The BJP also alleged that Sonia Gandhi's chairmanship of the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation resulted in a partnership with the Soros Foundation. In fact, the BJP tweeted documents showing that the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation received money from Soros' Open Society. The BJP claims that the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation Soros link-up resulted in, quote, displaying the influence of foreign funding on Indian organizations, unquote. Viewers, listen in to what the BJP said at length.
एक संस्था है जिसका नाम है फोरम फॉर डेमोक्रेटिक लीडर्स इन एशिया पैसिफिक, और इसके बारे में कहा जा रहा है कि दिस इज अ नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1994 विद द मिशन टू प्रमोट डेमोक्रेसी इन एशिया पैसिफिक रीजन. अब इसमें 4 लोग सह अध्यक्ष हैं, 4 लोग सह अध्यक्ष हैं, और उसमें एक श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी जी भी. ये फोरम काम क्या कर रहा है, अब आप देखिए. ये भारत के बारे में क्या कह रहा है? टर्न द सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नेंस अपसाइड डाउन टुवर्ड्स द सस्टेनेबल डेमोक्रेसी. यानी भारत में कह रहा है कि लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था खत्म हो रही है. कश्मीर के बारे में क्या कह रहा है? प्रोस्पेक्ट्स फॉर पीस, जस्टिस एंड इंडिपेंडेंस इन कश्मीर. और इंटरव्यू किसका है? इंटरव्यू विद लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल रिटायर्ड निशान अहमद, डायरेक्टर इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ रीजनल स्टडीज, इस्लामाबाद, पाकिस्तान. भारत में डेमोक्रेसी खत्म हो रही है और कश्मीर में जस्टिस होना चाहिए, उसके लिए पाकिस्तान के थिंक टैंक का इंटरव्यू. अब आप इसका रहस्य समझिए. वेबसाइट पे प्राप्त जानकारी के अनुसार फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट बाय कंट्रीब्यूशन फ्रॉम सोरस फाउंडेशन. अब द डॉट्स सीम्स टू बी कनेक्टेड. And Mr. Soros is the same person which has openly pledged that he has put up $1 billion to destabilize the Modi government.
To underscore the proximity between Soros and the Congress party, the BJP even dredged up an old tweet from Shashi Tharoor. In May 26, 2009, the Congress MP said, met old friend Soros, upbeat about India and curious about our neighborhood. He's far more than an investor, a concerned world citizen, unquote. That's what Mr. Tharoor had mentioned in the context of Soros. The BJP has put out that tweet. The group that the BJP is talking about is the FDL-AP, that counts Sonia Gandhi among its co-presidents, as I've told you. Here's a look, viewers, at what FDL-AP statement of objectives seem to suggest. And here's the first hard fact. It says, like all associations with boundless hopes and limited means, the FDL-AP is obliged to focus its resources on a few battles at a time. Due to its length, body count and how nuclear aspects, we begin with the Kashmir conflict, unquote. The conflict, viewers, is the word that has been chosen. Now, the Indian government never uses the word Kashmir conflict. It talks about Kashmir issue, because for India, Kashmir is not a conflict with Pakistan. Kashmir is ours. There's no question of a conflict, but this website, viewers, uses this word and wants to focus on this issue. The website then goes on to highlight the focus area, which is to argue for Azadi for Kashmir as some sort of silver bullet for peace. And it says, quote, Kashmiri independence, unquote, key to diffusing the Indo-Pakistani nuclear standoff. The only people who make Kashmir the central issue, viewers, between India and Pakistan is Pakistan. India doesn't think Kashmir is a central issue. The Indian government says it's one of the many issues. It's an issue and not key to the problem that exists between India and Pakistan. Again, viewers, this suggests that this particular website, this organization of which Sonia Gandhi was the co-president, seems to be leaning towards the Pakistan point of view. The FDP-AP then provides a link and references for action. The descriptor leads like an ode to ex-terrorist cum separatist Shabir Shah, who is described as, quote, prisoner of conscience, unquote. Shah is in jail, remember, viewers, for accepting terror funds from Pak-based terror groups like the Lashkar-e-Toiba. But FDP-AP describes Shah thus, and let me quote them, voice of the Jammu and Kashmir Democratic Freedom Front, the most non-violent, ecumenical Kashmiri independence movement led by amnesty prisoner of conscience Shabir Shah. The JKDFF has formed the Jammu and Kashmir Democratic Freedom Party, a pro-independence party that includes prominent leaders among Kashmiri Muslims, Ladakhi Buddhists and Jammu Hindu community, unquote. The Congress party has slammed the talk of a nexus as one championed by the BJP because it wants to distract the attention of the nation from questions Rahul Gandhi is posing on the alleged proximity between businessman Modani and Prime Minister Modi. But while the Congress has counterattacked, the party has not specifically answered the questions posed by the BJP. This has prompted some more obvious questions. First, why would Sonia Gandhi knowingly be the patron of an organization that argues for the independence of Kashmir, viewers? Has Sonia Gandhi ever outrightly denounced FDL-AP pro-Kashmir Azadi stand till date? And does Sonia Gandhi back the FDL-AP view that consciously places those sworn to the balkanization of India on a pedestal, like Shabir Shah, viewers? Let's ask some fundamental questions tonight. Sushant Sareen also here with us. Suman C. Raman, Ramesh Sabarwal, leader of the Congress, Savio Rodriguez, political analyst. And there is, of course, the national spokesperson, the Bharatiya Janata Party, Pradeep Bhandari. Now, I want to begin first with a simple question of Mr. Sabarwal. Mr. Sabarwal, look, why would Sonia Gandhi volunteer to be a member of an organization that, as I have shown you from their own website, is palpably against the India position in Kashmir? It actually argues for independence to Kashmir as some sort of a silver bullet solution.
The Congress party always stood with the Kashmir. It's an integral part of the country. The organization about which you are talking might be it is an NGO, some kind of organization, you know. And we as a Congress people don't need a certificate from the BJP that, and at least the Gandhi family doesn't need a certificate from the BJP. We got a certificate from the people of India. Indiraji got elected, Nehruji got elected. Indiraji gave their life for the nation. Nehruji stayed during the independence movement in the jails by the Britishers. Rajiji gave his life to the country. Sonia ji sacrificed throughout her life, We made up Manmohan Singh ji as the Prime Minister. I want to ask you one thing. Why BJP is afraid too much
Mr.
of Gandhi
Sabharwal,
family?
forget the BJP for
Rahul
a moment. Forget the BJP for a moment.
Rahul ji,
No, one second,
Rahul
Mr.
ji,
Sabharwal. Forget the
Rahul
BJP
ji
for a
has
moment.
exposed
Throw them
Adani
out of the
issue.
equation. One minute, Mr. Sabharwal. Look, the facts are out there. Sir, allow me, sir. Allow me. I don't want to speak over you. So I'll just ask you a couple of questions. Forget the BJP, as I'm saying. Forget that it made this charge. As an Indian, would you have been happy had an organization that you were fronting, were the co-president of, was actually putting out information, papers, interviews, arguing for the liberation of Kashmir from India? It's just a Indian to Indian question. Forget about the BJP,
Sir,
forget about the Congress. Ramesh Sabharwal, you and I are asking as Indians this question to each other.
Sir, you are unnecessarily motivating into wrong direction. The Congress party, the Kashmir is an integral part of our country. Nehruji did so much for Kashmir. Rajiji did so much for Kashmir. Indiraji did so much for Kashmir. My submission is that by joining some NGO, might be their view will be on that. I am not aware of that. Which NGO, what are you talking? Where Sonia ji is the co-president. I have not gone through that. But I know my leadership.
No.
I know my
that's
Sonia
not good
Gandhi.
enough tonight. That's not good enough tonight. That's not good enough tonight. Let me bring in Sushant Sareen. Look, viewers, it's not Rahul Shivshankar or the BJP that's making this up. Look at what the FDL-AP website says, and I put out those facts for you. It says, Kashmir independence, key to diffusing the Indo-Pakistani nuclear standoff. I could have understood had they said the Kashmir issue is a key. No. Here, viewers, it crosses all red lines and says Kashmir independence is the key. Give the Kashmiris independence and you will have peace. This is the silver bullet solution, viewers. Then it goes on to say, voice of Jammu and Kashmir Democratic Freedom Front, the most non-violent, ecumenical Kashmiri independence movement, led by Amnesty prisoner of conscience Shabir Shah. Viewers, the Congress president, former President Sonia Gandhi, was co-president of this body that made these pronouncements. There they are, viewers. That's the website. Those are the documents. You can go and tweet right now and look at my tweet that I had put out earlier, or you can go directly to the website and click on the link. Sushant Sareen, I want to bring you in. What do you make of, first of all, the claim that the Congress is saying that, look, how do we know this, that, the other? We are cemented in our love for Kashmir, etc. We've always actually secured the interests of Kashmir right from Mr. Nehru's time. Perhaps you could add some perspective here.
Yeah, Rahul, one, I find it extremely galling and I find it insulting to me as an Indian citizen, as I'm sure everybody on this panel, except for some exceptions, will find that only one family, only one party, only one particular way of thinking has been defending this country. Everybody else does not count for anything in this country, whether in the freedom movement or after it. Only one family went to jail, only one family had martyrs in their family, etc., etc. I find this extremely galling. A specific question was asked, Mr. Sabharwal.
Example de do BJP ka.
That decides the point.
You give me one example of BJP. You give me one example of BJP.
Mr. Sabharwal, I don't want you to speak over Mr. Sareen. You can raise your hand. You want to ask a counter question? You can. Please, let's be adult about this. Let's not be juvenile. Your party's boss has already been called a juvenile today. Don't force me to now come in and make some comments. Please. Yes.
So first and
Mr.
foremost, Rahul, that is the point. The second issue is that politicians need to be extremely careful which organization they are associating with. It very often what happens is people will approach a particular political leader, ask them, give them this spiel, get them to sign on as a sponsor or as a mentor or something. And then that organization does stuff which frankly the politician doesn't even know about. So I'm willing to give some benefit of doubt on that particular aspect. My bigger problem, however, is that, this kind of charges. Look, we know what has been happening in this country, and this is again not new. This is from the time Mrs. Gandhi started talking about the foreign hand. We've known this kind of nonsense has been going on in this country, how foreign countries come and try and influence the politics in India, how they destabilize governments. It's not an unknown fact. Okay. My question is then to my government, that when you know that, for example, Soros and this kind of people, malcontents, are indulging in interference in the country, what are you doing about it? Have you banned for funding from Soros-linked organizations into India, into these NGO networks, mafia that has been created, which is then used for producing toolkits and for creating disturbances in various parts of India? Have you done anything on that count? Number one. Number two, what have you done about certain other foundations which are linked to governments abroad, which are also indulging in this kind of activity? These same people cry like crybabies when they talk about Russian or Chinese or some other interference, but they think that it is their birthright to go and interfere in other countries. The same Americans are right now saying we will be present in eastern Syria because we are going to stabilize that portion. Who has asked them to go into eastern Syria? Has the Syrians invited them in? Who has invited them in? But they have taken it upon themselves. So this kind of interference which these guys do, we need to push back on that.
Okay.
I am all for very good relations with America, but I am not for interference of the Americans or any other country in my internal affairs. If I don't like a government, I'll vote it out.
Okay.
I will
Very
vote
quickly.
it out. I will support opposition parties. I'll come on the streets. I'll protest against the government.
Okay.
And every Indian opposition party.
Okay, but that, viewers, doesn't absolve.
This nonsense is not allowed.
Absolutely. But that also doesn't absolve the
And
Congress
Rahul,
party from having...
Allow me to make one more point.
Yeah.
Rahul, please, one more.
Yeah.
It's all very well to talk about politicians being linked to certain organizations, and those organizations coming out with the kind of reports you pointed out. Now, let me give you another example. Recently, there was a seminar which was held in which a certain British guy who writes books on Indian history was invited because he is now suddenly a favorite, because he's written a book on Hinduism's contributions to world heritage. He was invited. This same guy who wrote many years back.
Actually, Mr. Sareen, two-thirds of that book...
wrote that the road to Kabul,
No, two-thirds of that book...
Kabul to the Taliban lies in Kashmir.
That's
that
right.
You hand over Kashmir, basically he was saying that you hand over Kashmir to Pakistan, Pakistan will be satisfied, it will not have a problem with India.
Okay.
And it
Okay.
And
So,
our government
okay, one
today
second, let me open this up.
not
Fine.
that.
Otherwise, it will just become one person's monologue. Okay. That person that you are referring to also wrote a book. That's that same book that you're referring to. About two-thirds of it was about the Buddhist contribution, and then he later found that the Hindus also did a little bit on the side. Yes. So I know who you're talking about. Let me just bring in Mr. Bhandari and also Suman C. Raman and Savio. Dr. Raman, I want to, before I bring in Mr. Bhandari, Dr. Raman, very quickly, I just want to ask you. Yes, we can ask the question of the government that why haven't they thrown Soros out, though they have actually blacklisted his NGO and put it on a list of proscribed organizations in 2016. Soros then moved the courts, I think, in 2022, and there was all sorts of drama that is continuing to go on in our courts, of course, sitting on this matter, but that's a different matter altogether. I'm only asking you, Sonia Gandhi, why would she knowingly continue to be a patron of an organization that argues for the independence of Kashmir? Surely she has advisors who know what these organizations are doing. It's not as if this particular organization works in a vacuum. It's got some very weighty people.
Okay, Rahul, two, 3 things. First of all, even a newborn child will know what is the purpose for raking up Soros now. It is to divert attention from the charges, which the Congress and the India bloc have been placing at the door of the BJP and the ruling party in parliament. Let's leave that aside. Now let's come to this. After 11 years in power, close to 11 years in power, if a 94-year-old man who's given away most of his wealth and is left with 5 billion or 6 billion or whatever out of the 40-50 billion that he had, is going to be able to destabilize a superpower country, a country that has become a superpower in the last 10 years, then it is a very sad state of affairs. Isn't it a very sad state of affairs that a 94-year-old man is able to destabilize one of the emerging superpowers of the world?
Are you being an
right?
ageist?
So No, I'm
Don't be an
asking you.
ageist.
I'm asking you.
The guy who's supposed to be the greatest threat to democracy today is 78 years old. Do you know what his name is?
No, Rahul, and I don't want to.
It's Donald
these
Trump.
Are,
He's
no,
called.
second.
He's
These
called the greatest threat to
one
democracy. So let's not trivialize things.
One
In the
second,
past,
Rahul.
we've had some very old leaders, and I can start going through from Chairman Mao up and down.
One minute.
Hang on. And I can start listing names of people who are. No, I'm just correcting you. Anyhow, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Don't be ageist. That's all.
There are 2-3 points here. Now, Mr. Soros has been supporting various.
Forget Mr. Soros, yeah. Let's just talk about this organization. Forget about it.
No,
Let's look at the organization. The organization, whether it is supported by Soros or not. FDL-AP. Why does the FDL-AP have Sonia Gandhi as its co-president, number one? And why is it espousing, if it has her as the co-president, espousing independence for Kashmir? Can you just answer that question? Forget about Soros.
One second. There are the top politicians who are associated with hundreds of organizations, and they hold various positions in organizations. And for once, I agreed with Mr. Sareen on that when he was kind enough to sort of at least accept the fact that Sonia Gandhi was not going every day and looking into the day-to-day affairs of what this organization was taking a stand. My other point, Rahul, is very simple. If a law has been violated, then why has the government taken
It's
no
not about a
action?
law, sir. You know very well that no law has been violated. Anyone can come up and speak about the independence of Kashmir. It comes down to a moral judgment. It comes down to a moral judgment. Anyhow, let me just bring in Pradeep Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari, respond. Respond. On all these points, it's a diversion. How does Sonia know what is happening? But Modi must know what every right-wing Hindu organization and some madcap, marginalized, complete madcap on the sidelines of India's society must say. Modi must answer that question. Modi must know everything. Sonia Gandhi, poor thing. She can have her blinkers on, sit and let other people do whatever they want to. She must give her blessings, that's all.
Well,
fair enough.
Well, Rahul ji, allow me 60 seconds to 90 seconds. It is our constitutional right to let the people of India aware about the anti-national characteristic of the Indian opposition, in particular Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. And I'll also answer my friend Sushant to what we've done. Please reread the tweet of Shashi Tharoor when the Congress party was in power. He calls George Soros an old friend. The point and issue is that Congress party advocated absolutely no surgical strike during 26/11. Was it linked because Sonia Gandhi's views were absolutely mainstreamized by this organization FDL-AP, which believes in independence of Kashmir? My point is, if you look at the trajectory of the Congress party on national security since 2009 to 2014, do you not look at it extremely soft on terror? Has it done a surgical strike? No. Has the Congress party called down Hafiz Saeed as a terrorist? No. Has the Congress party advocated for abrogation of Article 370 Jammu and Kashmir? No. Is it a coincidence that somebody who was running the government was more powerful than the Prime Minister of India? Manmohan Singh was a dummy Prime Minister. Sonia Gandhi knowingly was part of an organization which believes in independence of Kashmir and who's linked to a man who has funded $1 billion to destabilize India. How can all of this be a coincidence? It cannot be a coincidence. And let me quote Natwar Singh, what he said on 11 July 2006 in his book, that Sonia Gandhi के संबंध विदेशी शक्तियों से हो सकते हैं, इसकी जांच होनी चाहिए. This is an individual who's worked with Sonia Gandhi. Now linked to what FDL-AP has done. And imagine a situation, FDL-AP does a dialogue on Jammu and Kashmir and gets a Pakistani general to speak about it. This is the reality. And then after years also, the man who is involved with the organization of George Soros, who's funded FDL-AP, where Sonia Gandhi is a member, does Bharat Jodo with Rahul Gandhi.
Why don't you order an investigation?
They have links. And 10 seconds of
Why
point.
Don't you order which government should
No, we will act. No, I tell you on your show, Rahul. If we act, the opposition should not cry about vendetta. The opposition should not say that the democratic voices are being stifled. We will definitely act. And on my friend Sushant's response, on 2019, 13,500 NGOs have been banned by the government of India for accepting foreign funds.
Okay, 7 years you didn't know.
And just because Mr. Nehru is a prime minister does not absolve Sonia Gandhi's anti-national
Okay, one second. Let me just step in here. No, 1 second.
Sonia Gandhi doesn't need a certificate.
Forget
Sonia Gandhi doesn't need a certificate from Modi.
Okay, Sabharwal Saab, 1 second.
7 years you didn't know it.
Okay. Dr. Aman.
1 second.
Look, 1 second. Just
1
1 second. I just want to bring in Savio Rodriguez. He hasn't spoken at all.
Mr. Sabharwal will not allow Sonia Gandhi to destabilize.
1 second.
Sir,
Viewers,
certificate
you remember.
Sir, she will never.
1 second.
You people are destabilizing.
Okay, gentlemen.
You people are destabilizing.
Okay, please.
certificate.
I'm
You
going to lower
people are
everyone's
destabilizing.
faders.
Undeclared
1,
emergency.
2, 3. Okay, viewers. I think the Congress and Dr. Raman maybe can answer this question when they get some time. About a decade back, little over a decade, maybe 2 decades now actually, it's been so long, viewers. One man called the Bhishma Pitama of Indian politics, Sharad Pawar, split the Congress. You know why, viewers? He says, Sonia Gandhi is a foreigner and cannot be trusted. These were his words, not mine. Why would he be saying that, viewers? Why would he have said something like that? Today, God knows what has brought him around. Maybe survival, being the Bhishma Pitama of Indian politics, the Chanakya, the this, the that. They call him so many things, viewers. Maybe he thinks that today it's better to hunt in numbers, so let me come back to Sonia, let's become friends. But viewers, when you walk out of a party making someone's foreign origins an issue and a threat to national security, then you must have been saying something for some reason. No one is answering that question. 1998 we are talking about, viewers. Anyhow, Savio Rodriguez. Yes, I don't want to make people's foreign origins, etc., the central point. But I'm only saying that people from within the Congress ecosystem walked out of the Congress party citing what was palpably a foreign hand. That's what they said. But nonetheless, forget that.
The problem, Rahul, in this entire expose that has come out from the BJP is that there is one question that the Congress does not want to answer. They're giving you all sorts of lame reasons. But Sonia Gandhi is not an average member of that organization. She's the co-president. Are you telling me that a co-president is not going to be aware of the antecedents of an organization or an NGO that you are a part of? It either means that she is absolutely somebody with no knowledge or somebody that has a sinister plan. Now, Congress has to choose one of the two. They cannot brush this away, saying that Sonia Gandhi might have been a part of many organizations. We don't know about it. She might not know about it. And that's
You
lame.
must investigate. You
Right?
must
The
investigate.
point is this.
Order an investigation.
Is she,
CBI.
Raman, I did not disturb you. Don't disturb me.
No, sir, I'm asking you to order an
No,
investigation.
don't
sir.
disturb me.
Into what?
CBI.
Sonia
Into what?
Gandhi
What are they going to
is the
investigate?
people of India.
No.
What is she
Investigate
doing
the
with that
background.
organization?
There may be all
That
kinds
was
of
talking
murky
about
things
the
going
separate
on.
Kashmir.
They put out
That
whatever
was
they had to
talking
on their
about
website,
independence
sir.
of Kashmir.
Under Sonia Gandhi's
Yeah.
branding and
What
name.
was Sonia Gandhi doing being a co-president of an organization talking about a separate independent Kashmir? That is an answer Sonia
This is
Gandhi
the-
needs to give to the people of this country. No
Look at-
amount of lame excuses, Raman, for people like you who do not want to accept the truth.
This is a
acceptable
document.
to the people of
There's
India.
nothing to accept.
This is a
sir.
facsimile, viewers.
You are running the
This is a
government for 2
facsimile.
You can
years.
keep running
Okay.
your mouth, Raman.
Prove her
The
illegal.
people of
Whatever
India
she
are
has
aware.
done to us.
All
Sumansi Raman, it's a fair
anti-nationals.
question. It's a
This
fair
is an
question.
act
very
of
fair
an
question.
anti-national.
It's a fair question. Now you can
This is
now
an
remember,
act of an
viewers.
anti-national.
Remember, viewers.
If she's
Let me tell you one
anti-national,
second.
why
One
don't you-
second.
Why
Let's
don't
stop.
you ban her from
Let's
running
stop.
for election?
Let's stop. One second. Let's stop.
Stop
One
talking
second.
like
Viewers,
please.
Dr. Raman is oversimplifying and perhaps even being a little puerile here. You can't ban anybody for holding a particular view. There might be a large number of people who might want to give Kashmir on a platter to Pakistan. You can't hang them for that. That's their point of view. This is a democracy. In fact, Dr. Raman would argue very strongly for freedom of speech in these matters. And I'm sure because they stand with, for example, Umar Khalid, who said that the killing of the hanging rather by court decree, Supreme Court decree of Afzal Guru was a judicial execution. You can't stop anybody.
Allow me to show something.
No, yeah, one second. Just one second. I can't just allow you to show anything which has not been sort of, what is it exactly that you want to put
No,
up?
I'm trying to show a chronology here, Rahul.
Yeah,
Even in
I just want to make one
Please
point
go ahead.
that, Sonia Gandhi was no ordinary Indian. She was the head of the NAC, the National Advisory Council, viewers. It was really the shadow government of its time. Everyone knows this. So she could have had a great deal of influence on policy. Anyhow, yes, Mr. Bhandari.
Rahul, if you look in 2000, Mr. Sabharwal, even in 2020, it is the Congress leaders like Digvijay Singh, Sanjay Jha and Shashi Tharoor who are eulogizing George Soros. So my question is, Rahul, is it all the leaders were following, all these followers were following their leader Sonia Gandhi, knowing that the more anti-national they get in their characteristic, the more promotion they will get in Congress party?
Mr. Sabharwal, quickly. Now the question is very central. Forget about anybody. Forget the funding source. Forget about BJP. Forget about everything. It's just a straight question. Do you think Sonia Gandhi should come out and explain why she was the co-president of an organization that was championing the cause of an independent Kashmir? Very quickly, sir. Yes or no?
My submission is that I'll answer two things.
Yeah.
Shashi Tharoor came to politics in 2009. If somebody has got a friend earlier, I'm not aware of that. Number two, about Sonia ji. If Sonia ji, I don't think so. She can never dream her life. She is more Indian. She's like, I know her too much. She is more Indian like my wife. I have seen her moral ethics. I've learned so much from her. So I don't believe that Gandhi family can never dream without Kashmir, India presence.
You don't need to get
Kashmir is an integral part of India. Integral part of India. It
Yes,
will
that's
remain a
why
part of
she's
India.
gone and joined
Don't
co-president of an organization,
BJP
Mr.
propaganda.
That's talking about an independent Kashmir.
Never.
That is how much Indians
Look, viewers, we are going to just keep going around in circles here. Let's just take quick stock. The point is, viewers, questions have been asked. The Congress party, whatever their response is, needs to respond to these questions specifically. Yes, you could accuse the BJP of opportunism, to say that they raised this issue to deflect, dissect. But the fact is this. Will the Congress care to explain, or will they allow this to pass? If they do, viewers, it's on their moral conscience. I want to move on, viewers, because this is an important story. In Delhi, the bugle for the Delhi Assembly has been sounded, with the AAP releasing its list for candidates. This second list of 20 candidates builds on the first list of 11 candidates released by AAP late last month. Interestingly, the AAP has denied 83% of its sitting MLAs a chance to contest, or they've also allowed them to swap their seats. Even ex-Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has swapped seats. The BJP has claimed that the large-scale denial of tickets is a sure sign that the AAP is fleeing the voter, because it knows that it hasn't governed the state and therefore has no answers to give. Apparently, viewers, sources from within the AAP are telling us that the tickets have been decided on the back of numerous surveys that have been conducted by the party to arrive at the right candidate to be given a ticket. So a sitting MLA who has lost connect with the public is being denied on the back of a survey that reflects that, and someone new has been picked up. And viewers, those are some of the facts on your screen. It's released a total of 2 lists of 31 candidates. Remember, they are still around 40 more seats that will have to be announced, or 40 odd seats will have to be announced. And after that, viewers, we'll have a greater shape on exactly how many people percentage-wise the AAP has either denied a ticket to sitting MLAs or has replaced, swapped for another leader. Those statistics will still have to be firmed up. 31 candidates in this list. Both these lists have at least been declared as of now. Let's open this up and ask some fundamental questions. And I just want you to know, viewers, that former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia will not be contesting from Patparganj. He will now be contesting from Jangpura. And nine candidates that have been fielded by the AAP are either BJP and Congress turncoats. So let's open this up. Priyanka Kakkar, national spokesperson of the AAP, is here with us. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP, is here with us. We only have 2 guests. I hope we can be orderly and we can have a constructive debate. Ms. Kakkar, I want to open with you. The BJP has come out and said, look, when we give tickets to own or retain only 30% or 60% or whatever it is of sitting MLAs, we know we are doing so because there's anti-incumbency and those people haven't worked well enough. Is this a similar case, Priyanka Kakkar, that these people have not delivered as per expectations and therefore governance is a central issue that you have defaulted on? That's the charge.
That is not true, Rahul. Good evening to everybody. That is not true. It is that we have given, our organization is an ever expanding party and we have given responsibility to our MLAs, our previous MLAs in the organization already. They're working very hard. आपने कभी नहीं देखा होगा कि एक पुराने MLA जैसे आज प्रवीण कुमार जी जो जंगपुरा से थे वो भंगड़ा कर रहे थे मनीष सिसोदिया जी की सीट अनाउंस होने से जंगपुरा में, भाजपा की तरह हरियाणा में रिजाइन करके नहीं भाग गए सब. तो वी आर एन एवर एक्सपैंडिंग पार्टी, पीपल फ्रॉम ऑल वॉक्स ऑफ लाइफ आर जॉइनिंग अस. इमेजिन, आपने कभी सुना है कि बीजेपी वाले आम आदमी पार्टी में आ गए? वो क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि उनको पता है हवा किस तरफ चल रही है. बीजेपी ने अब तक एक लिस्ट नहीं निकाली, इनके पास 70 कैंडिडेट नहीं है, सीएम फेस तो दूर की बात है. So they are in such a bad position today that they are floating this narrative about trying to compare themselves and justifying their ousting of say 15 MLAs in the first list in Haryana, 7 MLAs in the second list in Haryana. In Gujarat, do you remember when Bhupendra Patel ji was about to take the Shapath? The entire cabinet was removed and the Shapath taking ceremony had to be extended by a day or so. 34 ministers have been dropped this time from the cabinet of the BJP. So do you concede on this show that Smriti Irani was not an efficient MP? Do you concede on this show that Anurag Thakur is not an efficient MP? Please ask them that. Their only problem is that they have no ground in Delhi, zero. Okay. And इनको किस बात की तकलीफ है? Is it illegal to change a candidate? इनको क्या problem है?
Open. Let's have an open conversation. Yes, Mr. Bhandari, respond to Ms. Kakkar.
Opening rebuttal to my friend Priyanka. Well, the reality is in 2020, the Aam Aadmi Party retained 65% of its sitting MLA, considering that it was a huge wave. Today, they have dropped 83% of their individuals who were contesting last time. So see the difference, because Aam Aadmi Party knows on the ground that there is a massive anti-incumbency. She spoke about Haryana. Yes, absolutely, we were correct in Haryana, Priyanka. That's why we could win Haryana and you lost deposits in 90% of the seats, including the home village of Mr. Kejriwal, where you could not even get 2,000 votes. Now, Manish Sisodia is not a normal MLA. Manish Sisodia is the right hand of Arvind Kejriwal. That is how Aam Aadmi Party used to project it. Imagine the right hand of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who was considered to be the Chacha of Shiksha Kranti, could not even protect his seat in Patparganj. You know the reality of the last time elections in 2020? He only won with 3,207 votes. That is the reality, just 2% vote. Now I'll tell you why the Aam Aadmi Party is shifting. It's not limited to Manish Sisodia's seat. They did not give ticket to Dilip Pandey. On Dilip Pandey's seat in Timarpur, 67 Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas left because they know that there is massive anti-incumbency on the ground. Now let me just tell you why is it happening. Broken roads, reality of Delhi. Cash prone areas, reality of Delhi. No employment, reality of Delhi. 40% power tariff, reality of Delhi. Power theft, reality of Delhi. 67 people, Bagawat and AAP, reality of Delhi. Awadh Oja could not handle an entire interview, got it fixed. PWD gets more than 10,000 complaints. 65,000 ghost patients in Mohalla clinics. Okay. So Rahul, and let me tell you, I was in Jangpura yesterday. Even going to Jangpura will not be able to save Manish Sisodia. Okay. Haryana, what happened with Congress will happen with Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi.
Okay, Ms. Kakkar, he's admitted that yes, usual practice, you remove or you deny tickets to sitting MLAs because there is a fear of anti-incumbency. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a tacit admission that perhaps you haven't quite done the hard yards in the 5 years or 10 years that you had in office. Would you completely discount that point of view, Ms. Kakkar?
Absolutely. You know, he's talking about schools. His own Niti Aayog think tank of the central government rates us as number 1. So why do I have to respond to him? He is a BJP spokesperson. I don't know where he belongs to, but he couldn't even pronounce Timarpur. You know, it is not Timarpur. And इनको दिल्ली की विधानसभाओं के नाम ही ठीक से नहीं पता. इनके पास मैं वही बता रही हूँ 70 कैंडिडेट ही नहीं है. इनसे पूछो केजरीवाल वर्सेस हु, they will have no answer.
पहले ये तो गारंटी दे दो कि अरविंद केजरीवाल नई दिल्ली से लड़ेंगे. प्रियंका जी पहले ये तो ओपनली गारंटी दे दो कि आतिशी को कालका जी से नहीं भगाना पड़ेगा, जब 20,000 वोट से पहले जीते थे पिछली बार 11,000 वोट से।
Okay, 1 second. Let's not speak over each other. Please. Let's not speak.
बीच में रोकिए।
Okay,
मैंने इंटरप्ट नहीं की।
One second. No, please. Let her finish. Yes. But you're completely
good.
You're completely, Ms. Kakkar, rebutting anyone coming out and saying that anti-incumbency has nothing to do with these changes.
There is pro-incumbency. Please tell me, a Kejriwal versus who?
Okay.
There is pro-incumbency, and if it's part of our strategy,
well, Ms. Kakkar,
and
don't
we are
forget
trying to,
that
we want
Mr.
70
Kejriwal.
on 70.
Okay,
We
so
want
when Mr. Kejriwal came out of jail,
please finish.
when he came out on bail, if you remember, Ms. Kakkar, he made the Lok Sabha election about himself, and there was an alliance with the Congress party, and he said that, look, this time we have to punish the BJP for sending me to jail. He used a very nice Hindi colloquial phrase, but the people did not respond. All the seats were once again won by the BJP.
Perhaps they did not like the alliance.
Okay.
Perhaps that is an easy answer. Perhaps they did not like the alliance.
Okay.
I am telling you that I'm blatantly telling you that this time the contest is with Arvind Kejriwal on all 70 seats.
Okay.
Today there was an auto sammelan and Arvind Kejriwal ji was talking to these auto drivers, and one of them said कि इस बार बीजेपी की इतनी आएंगी कि हमारी ऑटो में बैठकर चल लेंगे. They are. I am on the verge of repeating myself.
Rahul, now let me just throw some light on my friend Priyanka.
Okay, no, against whom?
No, please.
Kejriwal versus who?
Yes. It's Kejriwal versus people of Delhi. It's Kejriwal versus people of Delhi. Now just, Mr. Kejriwal did not do an alliance in Haryana. What did he say after coming out from jail? Haryana की जनता अगर लगता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी भ्रष्टाचारी है तो हमें वोट मत देना. अगर लगता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी ईमानदार है तो हमें वोट देना. What was the reality in Haryana when 90% of the seats Aam Aadmi Party lost deposits? Priyanka ji, the writing is on the wall. You are losing Delhi. People of Delhi are against you.
Tell me, when will you read it? When will you read the writing on the wall?
I've read it in Haryana, I've read it in Maharashtra, I'm reading it in Delhi, I've read Delhi very well, don't worry.
Okay.
Did you read it in 2020? You have not been able to win Delhi in 27 years.
Now it will happen.
Perhaps more.
It will happen,
Do you
don't
know
worry
why?
Priyanka ji, you've never been able to go out of Delhi.
Do you know why?
अरे पहले अपनी तो जमानत बचाइए.
ऑटो पे जाएंगे.
पहले आप गारंटी दो.
Okay.
पहले आप
both sides, please.
Okay.
I'll tell you
an interesting fact.
Let's not.
I'll tell you an interesting fact. If this time BJP will be win perhaps 2 seats, they will go on packing on a scooty. But the unfortunate part is
now let's not both of you.
She cannot give you a guarantee on your show that a puppet chief minister, the sitting chief minister of Delhi, Atishi will contest from Harshit Kalka. This is the level of
Okay. Okay. Please. This is getting too much.
Law and order.
Okay, too much talking over each other,
please.
Okay. I beg both of you. Just now. Let's just pipe down. Pipe down. No, I'm moving on. I need to move on. It's been an engaging debate. But viewers, look, the point is this is going to be a very, very hotly contested battle in Delhi. And many people are saying that this time there is grudge involved. Arvind Kejriwal has asked the people to redeem him. Mr. Modi feels that he has been personally slighted. Many people have called him a dictator, including Mr. Kejriwal, etc. So this is a battle really of egos, of prestige. Let's see how it plays out. But viewers, I want to focus on another story. And this is a story that isn't going very well for the India bloc. Rahul Gandhi today staged a skit on the steps of Parliament to draw attention to his attack on Prime Minister Modi and what the Congress claims is an unholy nexus with business czar Gautam Adani. Listen to this skit.
आजकल क्या हो रहा है भाई?
आजकल मैं जो भी बोलता हूँ ये करता है.
अच्छा,
मेरे लिए करता है.
आप क्या क्या बोल रहे हो?
मैं कुछ भी चाहता हूँ.
क्या चाहते हो आप?
कुछ भी पोर्ट चाहिए, एयरपोर्ट चाहिए, कुछ भी.
अगला आप क्या लेने की कोशिश कर रहे हो?
वो उसके लिए अभी हमारा मीटिंग अभी शाम को है, करके आज डिसाइड कर देंगे कि मीन्स हमारे लिए मैं जो भी करता हूँ ये बाय होने तक मेरे लिए कोई नहीं है.
पार्लियामेंट छोड़ देने भैया.
वो देखते हैं.
आपके रिश्ते के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए भाई.
हम दोनों का एक ही है. मैं जो भी बोलता हूँ
हम
दोनों मिलकर सब करेंगे.
अच्छा, और कब से आपकी पार्टनरशिप चल रही है?
ये हमारा सालों साल का.
सालों साल से. और फ्यूचर आपका कैसा है?
20 साल का है हमारा. पूरा इस देश का
ये
इंडिया मैं हूँ।
अच्छा, ये आपके कारण पार्लियामेंट क्यों नहीं चलने दे रहे हैं?
ये
हम सारे ऑपोजिशन को मतलब
वो आदमी गायब है। अमित भाई आए नहीं थे आज हाउस में। आज अमित भाई से पूछना पड़ेगा। मैं जो भी बोलता हूँ ये करता है।
ये बड़े सीरियस लग रहे हैं। कम बोलते हैं आजकल।
ये थोड़ा टेंशन में है।
Viewers, that was a skit where Rahul Gandhi was interviewing two individuals, one hiding behind the mask of Adani, the other MP hiding behind the mask of Prime Minister Modi. While the clips of the skit were picked up on social media, a number of Congress party allies were left visibly discomfited, while the Samajwadi marked Rahul Gandhi for his juvenility. The TMC once again made a pitch to project their boss Mamata Banerjee as the sober face of the alliance. IP Singh of the Samajwadi Party came out and said he, that is Rahul Gandhi, is adamant that he will not change his ways. The voting public and also the allies have given him plenty of opportunities, but it appears that he lacks what it takes to be a leader. He may be 55, but he acts like a juvenile. The opposition will have to choose a leader who can provide an alternative, unquote. A few moments later, TMC MP Kirti Azad chimed in, pitching his boss as the ideal suited to lead the alliance. Kirti Azad, TMC MP, said, and I quote, "There is no one better than Mamata Banerjee to lead the India alliance. Even the Bhishma Pitama of Indian politics, Sri Sharad Pawar ji, along with others, have expressed their opinion in favour of her," unquote. Indeed, of late, several parties in the opposition alliance India are urging a serious review following continuous losses in recent state elections. West Bengal Chief Minister, Trinamool Congress leader Mamata Banerjee has even voiced dissatisfaction with the bloc's functioning and hinted at her willingness to lead the alliance if given the opportunity. Let's open this up. Sumansi Raman, let me ask you straight off the bat. When your own allies are slightly discomfited and are not joining your protest, is it fair to say that the Congress has actually isolated itself and that its own plank, this Adani, Modani, Modi, whatever it is, plank itself is hollow, and that's why all the other allies have deserted it really at the steps of the altar really of Parliament, no one joining them?
Look, Rahul, there are two things. One, I don't think it is fair to say that the plank is hollow because no fair investigation has happened in this country as yet. Having said that, I do agree that this does not have the resonance across the country that the Congress would have hoped that it would have had. And therefore, I think today's effort did seem a bit juvenile. I do agree with the observation made by the Samajwadi Party and the TMC. Having said that, look, the India Alliance came together for a particular purpose, which they partially achieved when they denied the BJP a majority, right? Now, to say that they should be united on every single issue under the sun is not really realistic. Now, for instance, they are coming together for this, for the, motion of no confidence against the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So there may be a little more unity on that one. There will not be unity on some other issues. So, for instance, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena may have a different view from the Congress on certain issues. So, this is something which is known. The Congress and the DMK, despite being such close allies, have differences of opinion on a number of issues.
Okay.
So, let's be very clear.
Okay.
The point is, this matter needs a fair investigation. That is not happening. So, I would not say that this is hollow because there has not been a fair investigation.
But
Second,
Dr. Raman, you would agree,
yeah.
And this is an important point, and I want to bring Pradeep Bhandari right after you. It's an important point. You see, the Prime Minister prides himself as being uncorruptible. He has come out and said, "Na khaunga, na khane dunga." It's a massive charge that has been made against the Prime Minister. Crony capitalism cuts at the heart of his own pronouncements of being incorruptible. If it was any other Prime Minister, like Rajiv Gandhi, Bofors, that particular Prime Minister would have been in hot water. And that is because, from what it appeared, very clearly, there was a huge case which had some legs and substance. Here, the opposition itself knows that there is no, or at least the allies of the Congress know that there perhaps is no substance. And therefore, what's the point?
Well, Rahul,
one second, let him respond. Yeah. Yes. Doctor.
Yeah. So, my point is very simple. this issue of whether the allies think, let's face it, many of the allies themselves have projects going with Mr. Adani in their states
including
which they rule,
Congress.
including Congress ruled states as well as the DMK, as well as there is the talk of BJD, there is a talk in the earlier regime. So my point is not that they may have different reasons for not wanting to go hard on the Adani issue. That does not mean that the charges against Mr. Adani that have been made, and these have not been made by in India, they have been made by the US government. Do not require an investigation.
Okay, the US government has made these charges, Pradeep Bhandari, the DOJ.
Well, now allow me, please. First of all, let me just say categorically that Mr. Rahul Gandhi today has admitted, Rahul, that he is good for vlogging, he is good for YouTube videos, he is good for mimicry, he is good for street play, and this is why after 88 relaunch, he could not still be a politician who's taken seriously. Except the trolls in the Congress party who called him quote-unquote Jannayak, let me just tell you how the people of India rate Rahul Gandhi. 2019 Rahul lost, 2019 Andhra lost, Sikkim lost, Odisha lost, Arunachal lost, Haryana lost, Delhi lost, Bihar lost, Assam lost, Kerala lost, Bengal lost, Gujarat lost, Punjab lost, Uttarakhand lost, Goa lost, Manipur lost, Madhya Pradesh lost, Rajasthan lost, Chhattisgarh lost, 24 Lok Sabha lost, Andhra Pradesh lost, Haryana lost, Maharashtra lost, Odisha lost. Now this is the reality how people of India treat Mr. Rahul Gandhi. When this is the political reality, it is logical and irrational that it will have some mental impact on an individual who is not rooted to the ground. So this is what is happening with Mr. Rahul Gandhi, what he is doing in Parliament.
Are you suggesting this is indicative of cognitive...
I believe so. That's why we call him Balak Buddhi, and not just us. No, it is Samajwadi Party who's calling the same. It's Trinamool Congress who's calling the same. And before the Lok Sabha elections, Honorable Prime Minister said that after the election, ये गठबंधन टूट जाएगा, क्योंकि कांग्रेस का हाथ बंटाधार के साथ.
Dr. Raman, do you think that Rahul Gandhi is now sort of become a liability for India, the bloc?
Absolutely not. The point is he has to redefine his role. What his role is in the India bloc is still not very clear. What his role is in the Congress party itself is not clear.
After 25 years.
One second.
Again, another relaunch.
The public, it's not about launch or relaunch. The question is he the de facto leader of the party who is going to do the fight on a day-to-day basis, or is he some kind of ideologue who will come in maybe for a few campaigns?
No, he's
and
the
then
leader of the opposition, sir. He actually
No,
has a
he's the leader of
formal
the opposition.
designation.
See, in a month, Suman is not able to call him the LOP. The man who supports the Congress so highly, my friend Suman.
Let him finish.
1 second, let me finish.
Yeah.
My point is very clear. The fact remains that he is not able to win electoral battles. Certainly not with the frequency that which he should be winning them.
So should he just exit?
The role that he needs to play has to be redefined. But
what do you mean, sir? He's already the LOP. That's the biggest role you can ever have. You're the shadow prime minister in the Westminster system.
Rahul, I take offense, Rahul. What are you saying? What are you trying to say, Rahul? This is India. Did you just call him the shadow prime minister? No, come on. We're having a serious debate.
No. Let's not joke around here. I'm saying in the Westminster system, he would have been. No, 1 second. 1 second. Don't put words in my mouth. In the Westminster system, as I suggested, he would have been the shadow prime minister. The fact is, that is not something to be sort of, swatted away as an inconsequence. This is a major role that you're occupying. You have a cabinet level ministerial position. That is what you have as an LOP. You are at that level. You have to be absolutely geared towards raising the right issues, carrying the opposition with you. That's your job. What do you mean you have to redefine? This is not the president or the shadow president of the Congress party.
I'm sorry, you can be a great leader of
Rahul, I want to thank Rahul Gandhi because with individuals like Rahul Gandhi leading the Indian opposition.
He's not winning elections, Dr. Sumansi Raman.
1 second.
He should step aside.
Rahul.
Look, Suman will not let it happen.
Congress, no.
If an Indian cricket captain keeps losing test after test, can't score more than 30 runs,
but Rahul, I want
he's
to say
going to be
very
asked to
important
step
point. Just
aside.
10 seconds. Did you observe that the Trinamool Congress and the Sharad Pawar faction did not even name Priyanka Vadra?
Let him finish quickly. Yes, Dr. Raman. Very quickly.
My point
Yes.
is simple.
Yeah.
A decision on Mr. Rahul Gandhi has to be made by the Congress party, not by anybody else. And as Mr. Pradeep Bhandari said, they are very happy as long as Mr. Rahul Gandhi is there.
Very quickly.
As I said, leave apart my happiness. In fact, Rahul, a very important point. Trinamool Congress, Sharad Pawar, Samajwadi Party, none of them even named Priyanka Vadra, which means that they consider Priyanka Vadra at the same pedestal as Rahul Gandhi, which Suman was thinking of relaunching or putting forward.
Nobody is talking of relaunching. No, all we are saying is the role that he plays in the Congress party
of
needs
a mimicry
to be redefined.
artist.
And I am not saying it. Everybody.
I don't know. Redefining his role. Look, he's the one who has said that I want to be the chief campaigner, the vote getter for my party. Now, if he's not performing, someone needs to step up and say, well, it's not you, then buddy, can you step aside? Perhaps they should also then, therefore, reconsider who should be LOP from within their ranks. Clearly, he's not being able to carry the rest of the opposition.
You can be an effective LOP without being a charismatic vote catcher, and we have seen.
No, that's fine, but at least you have to be someone who speaks for the opposition in
He
reality.
hasn't
been able to carry the opposition.
Even on the issue which is raised, Samajwadi Party and teams have not back.
Hang on.
Okay, two or three things. Viewers, okay, I know it's not over. Early days, yes, there's a whole full term. 2029 is the next election. Another chance, another relaunch for Rahul Gandhi. That's fine. That's okay. That's the Congress party view. They're happy with that. That's their lookout. But viewers, an LOP must carry the opposition. He must have the respect. He must command the respect, if nothing else, of the opposition. Rahul Gandhi is failing to do so. The opposition is in crisis. A democracy needs an opposition, a constructive opposition. If you don't have one, the government is going to be fundamentally unaccountable. Let's leave it at this. Palki Sharma with Vantage coming up.
Presented by.
Outgoing US President Joe Biden said that the sudden collapse of the Syrian government under Bashar Assad is a fundamental act of justice after decades of repression. Now, but it was also a moment of risk and uncertainty for the Middle East, is the statement that is coming in from Joe Biden. Let's listen into what exactly he had to say.
13 years of civil war in Syria, more than half a century of brutal authoritarian rule by Bashar Assad and his father before him. Rebel forces have forced Assad to resign his office and flee the country. We're not sure where he is, but there's word that he's in Moscow. At long last, the Assad regime has fallen. As we all turn to the question of what comes next, the United States will work with our partners and the stakeholders in Syria to help them seize an opportunity to manage the risks. These past few days have been historic. And, it's in the days ahead that will determine the future of this country. And we intend to approach them with strength, wisdom, and resolve. So thank you very much. God bless America, and God protect our troops. Thank you.
Akansha, we just heard the US President Joe Biden. Of course, he is outlining a multi-pronged approach when it comes to maintaining stability in Syria. But given the fact how the situation is right now, how much feasible is it to maintain stability and counter the ISIS that is there?
Right. Sherin, he's saying that first they will be engaging with Syrian groups, and that I think is going to be a very crucial point to begin with. He's also talked about how they, including within the process that's led by the United Nations to establish the transition. And perhaps you can expect the United States strike that sort of rapport is now needed with the rebel forces to explain to them what is expected out of them and how they should be going about it. They will, U.S. also ensure that they will help ensure stability in Eastern Syria, protecting the person against any threats. As you've also highlighted, is the biggest concern that they should not be merging with ISIS, because the HTS, as far as this is concerned, the entire origin of HTS begins with the Al-Qaeda. It was only an ideological difference when they sort of, when Al-Qaeda decided to break away from ISIS, so did HTS, and they say it's an ideological difference and that they are different from the ISIS. how different will be during their regime, how different will they be when they start ruling the people of Syria. It proves to be any different, especially when we see how Taliban is operating. It made a lot of promises when they rose to power again in Afghanistan. They said that we'll change our approach towards women, but have they really done that? So those are similar concerns which one has for STS as well. So Joe Biden also talked about how they'll support their neighbors that include Jordan, Lebanon, Iran and Israel. Remember, Lebanon and Israel are already engaged in a fight that's going on. We've seen all of last week how various violations have been taking place. Of course, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has welcomed the entire change. But how will this now shape up? Will Israel try and occupy this territory? That's also another question. And how vigilant can the United States be, considering Joe Biden, what he's saying is in the capacity of an outgoing president? The other big question is whether this stance will be endorsed by incoming President-elect Donald Trump, who said this is not our fight to fight. So we'll have to see even the United States and its stance, even though the larger West has welcomed NATO allies. Many are talking about how Turkey has played a very significant role in this entire fall of Assad regime. We see how France has welcomed this entire change, as have other NATO allies even Canada, even the United Kingdom. So we have to see how this up in the ahead, Sherry.
Akansha, I request you to please stay with us as we are getting one more breaking input as far as the situation in Syria is concerned. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed the fall of the Syrian government headed by Bashar al-Assad and said his country remains committed to security of all in the Middle East. Now, Macron wrote in a post on X, and I quote, "The barbaric state has fallen. At last, I pay tribute to the Syrian people, to their courage, to their patience in this moment of uncertainty. I send them my wishes for peace, freedom and unity," unquote. Let me take this back to Akansha at this point. Akansha, one more leader internationally who is in fact welcoming the fall of Assad here.
Absolutely, and we know that the kind of role that French troops are playing. We also know that the US has stationed its troops over there in Syria. So they all have their own vested interests in the Middle East, particularly in Syria. And Syria has been a region of tumult, tremendous tumult, Sharon, if you look at it, ever since the time of Arab Spring. In fact, let me go back to the 80s when the father of Bashar al-Assad was known for conducting a massacre in 1982 where he killed nearly 20,000 people. So Syria has really not experienced what democracy tastes like. It's seen, bouts of these dictatorships. The Arab Spring started in 2011, 2015 up till 2017.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. On Friday, we told you Damascus looks within reach of the rebels, and within hours, the Syrian capital fell. President Assad, who resisted rebellion and civil war for 13 years, fled the country. There were celebrations on the streets, reactions from world leaders, and an air of tension and uncertainty. What happens next? Is the Syrian war over? Who is in charge? What happens to the refugees? What do we know about the man and the group that led this rebel offensive? Why is Assad's ouster a win for Turkish President Erdogan?